Yota zampata kera mamave.
သူရင်နင်ကုမ္ပဏီလဲသွားနေရတဲ့ဟာကိုငါစီထိုးတာကြီးလာကြမလို့ပါဘူးခွင့်ရမယ်နော်ကြားလား
မယ်နော်ရှင်လဲဟန်ဆောင်မှုကကောင်းလိုက်တာအဲ့ဒီလက်စွပ်ကရှင့်ခန်းထဲမှာ
နေ ဖြစ်နေရလား
ညဲနောက်ကြတော့မဟုတ်ပါဘူးဒီနေ့မှနည်းနောက်ကြနေအောင်
တခြားတယောက်မြင်မှာမကောင်းဘူးလေကျွန်တော်ကြိုက်ဘူး
ကိုသူတွေဘာလို့မရအောင်ရှောက်နေရလဲ
Procession and the way sunlight danced through the windows in the mornings. It was on a rainy Tuesday that she noticed him, Kirian, sitting alone at a corner table, sketching on a notebook as raindrops raced down the window pane. There was an air of mystery around him, a quiet intensity that made her heart skip unacceptably. Their first conversation was simple. She asked if she could share the table, and he nodded with a soft smile. From that moment, something shifted, a connection that neither of them could explain. Days turned into weeks. Laila and Kairan began to meet at the cafe every morning, sharing laughter, stories, and quiet glances over streaming cups of coffee. They discovered shared dreams, favorite books, and music that made their hearts beat and sense. But life has always had its complication. Kirian's past was a story of loss, and he carried it silently, and afraid that opening up would break the fragile mind they were forming. Laila's sensitive and intuitive sense as distance but didn't push. She believed real love, could wait for the right moment. One evening, as the cafe prepared to close, sudden thunderstorm forced them to stay under the same tiny coffee outside. The rain poured down, soaking the streets, but inside their little world time slowed. Kirian finally spoke. "I have been afraid to let anyone in," he admitted, voice barely above a whisper, "but with you, it feels like different, safe, honest." Laila smiled, brushing raindrops from his hair. "I have felt it too," she confessed. "Love is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, patient, and gentle, and sometimes it waits for us until we are ready." The rain fell harder, but they didn't move. They sat there side by side, hearts speaking where words could not. Then, without realizing it, Kirian took her in his. The warmth of his touch spread through her, chasing away every fear she had carried. And from that day, the cafe became more than a place to drink coffee. It became a sanctuary of laughter, whispered secrets, and stolen moments. They discovered joy in simplicity, morning walks in the park, shared books by the window, and the quiet evenings watching the city lights flicker. Months later, Laila learned that Kirian had been offered a job abroad, the same peer from before, but this time they didn't hesitate. Together they decided to take the leap, and trusting that their love was strong enough to overcome distance. And on the night before his departure, they returned to the cafe one last time. Holding hands, they promised to meet again under the same corner window, under the same sunlight. They had witnessed the beginning of their love. When the day came, Kirian left him, but the bond they had formed never wavered. Letters, late night calls, and weekend visits became their lifeline. Distance tested them, but it also strengthened them, proving that love rooted in understanding and patience could endure anything. Years later, they returned to the cafe, older, wiser, and more certain than ever, sitting in the same corner, and they smiled, remembering their first Tuesday. They changed everything. In that small coffee, amidst the aroma of coffee and laughter of strangers, their hearts